What is going on, everybody, and what are we looking at here today, boys and girls? I'm trying to get it all in frame on camera, but what we are looking at is my first ever, as an adult, color computer that I just picked up off of eBay. Well, it was just delivered off of eBay. And so since I've joined a couple of color computer groups, and I'm seeing that a lot of people have collections and they have computers, and I've discovered that these are still somewhat able to be picked up on eBay. I won my first auction, and this is what we got. So let's take a look at what I got. I'm particularly pleased with this one, but I actually got a few more that will be coming in as well. But let's talk about what I got and why I chose this particular collection in general. The first thing that I was concerned about, because I actually want to play real games on it. I'm not sure how clearly that computer screen is going to show up in the camera. I don't know if I zoom in and focus on it. But yeah, so this computer was listed as being 64K, and that was important to me because I want to be able to play real games, and I want to, if I'm going to buy one, I would like to be able to play any possible game that was written for the Color Computer 1 or Color Computer 2. So 64K should allow that. I don't remember how to check if you had 64K, if I'm not mistaken. It's been so long, but I think it never really showed you more than 32K that it recognized. I think the extra memory was only available via software and through the machine language. So this is telling me that I see 24K available, which means that this does have at least the 32K of RAM available to basic, and 8K of that was taken up by the extended basic ROM. The manual for extended color basic came with it, and it's in really good condition. And there's actually a bunch of other stuff inside here too. I'm dropping it like an idiot. Alright, so there's some other stuff inside here too, reference materials, other things like that that are actually pretty useful. So that was a bonus. I've seen these books alone selling for $30, and this was in really good shape. So I'm really happy about that book. Let me set that down, get that out of the way. It also came with, not your average, but it came with, you ready for this? A high-speed cassette drive, cassette tape. High speed, folks, not your average everyday low speed. This is your high speed tape drive. Tape drive comes with the included cable, and I'm not exactly sure how they achieve high speed, but I'm seeing something here. There is a cassette tape with some software written by John Heber, copyright 2015. John Heber, and he's got dates on here that have how many times he's uploaded this, and there's instructions to load and run some software, and there's even a 3.5-inch floppy drive that I have no idea how I'll be able to use, but high-speed tape system. I don't know what that means. I'm imagining it's some type of software that will speed up the computer, speed up the serial port, and allow it to transfer data quickly. I'm not really sweating that because I'm not planning on loading things off of cassette, but I like having an official Tandy tape player as part of a nostalgic collection. This collection also came with a television, so that was kind of a bonus. I didn't really want it, but now that I have it, I guess I'm happy with it, just because it's a thin flat screen. It takes up less room. I was going to actually put an old tube TV out here, CRT glass TV that would have been probably 2 or 3 feet deep and occupied this whole table that I have on here. So I believe this is also a modified version, because there's some composite RCA cables coming out of the back that are labeled for color, monochrome, and sound, and the color one's so short that I had to kind of wonkily connect it to here just to get the picture on screen. We also got the RF adapter. This was also kind of nostalgic to me to have. Okay, so we took these 2 screws here. These screwed onto the antenna inputs of the television back when we used rabbit ears for antennas, and then this little switch here had some other antenna pass-throughs where you could have your normal antenna connect to this, and then you had a switch here where you were on television, and then when you turn your computer on and you turn your TV to channel 3 or 4, you then slid this up and it switched it over to get your computer to show up on your TV. This is the same type of box that a lot of old game systems use. I think the Atari 2600 used this. I think maybe possibly some of the earlier Nintendos did as well. I don't remember. And it's even got on the back some, which is we had this a lot, the double-sided sticky tape, because you want to stick it to the back of your TV. So yeah, you can buy new ones of these. but because it's probably as old as the computer, I just thought it was kind of cool to have. So this is a nice little collection. So I got a television, I got a computer, I got a cassette drive, I got a vintage manual in almost new condition. So the next thing that I'm waiting on right now, and this is a 21st century piece of technology, but this is how I'm going to play games on here. So this is a controller card that's called an CoCo SDC. And what it is it's actually going to plug into the side, into the cartridge port of the computer, and it's going to emulate or pretend to be the floppy disk controller for this computer. So my computer will think it has a floppy drive adapter connected, and then you can put an SD card in here, like the ones you use in your digital cameras and stuff. And with that SD card, you can now load that up with software and load the original software on the computer, because there's not going to be any other easy way for me to load games and play games. I would have to get a floppy disk drive and get floppy disks, which I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that anytime soon, or load things off a cassette, or start buying a bunch of ancient cartridges, which I just don't have the time or money to do right now. So this single invention is going to allow me to take all the games that I already have downloaded in digital format off the internet, put them on an SD card and load them up on my computer and play them on the original computer and play them on an old school television. So that's kind of cool. What I'm waiting on now for this is the plastic case. A different person makes the cases. He manufactures those cases. So I just paid him on PayPal. Hopefully have that in a couple days, and then this will look just like a normal computer cartridge. I'll slap it in the side, I'll stick an SD card in there, and I'll be able to load it up with a ton of software and play the classic games on the actual vintage physical computer. Another thing I have ordered that has not arrived yet is I've ordered a pair of the old school analog joysticks that are still new in the box, or at least come with the box. So I'm really looking forward to playing some of these old school games with the original old school controllers. So this is now my first re-entry into owning a color computer after 35 years. I'm kind of excited about it. I have 2 more coming, and the 2 other ones that are coming actually say on the computer, they say 64K color computer, so they were stock Tandy models where you can read the sticker on the bottom. It says 64K CoCo II. So I'm going to end up having 3 of these things, and I'll just use one, whichever one's in the best shape and feels the best, plays the best, and then I'll have a couple more for spares. But yeah, this is cool. So what I envision happening is I don't want to go out of control, overboard, and try to reclaim every computer device and peripheral ever made, but I think I'd like to have one of each model. I'd like to have a silver CoCo 1, a white CoCo 1, CoCo 2, and then a CoCo 3, and just have them. I don't think I'll have them all hooked up and use them all the time, but I'd just like to have them to have a full collection of CoCos, and then any bonus peripherals I can come across, like a floppy controller or a multi-pack interface, or God forbid, the speech sound pack and Orchestra 90. If I could get the whole Mac Daddy setup and just plug it all in and get it working one time to hear it, see it, touch it, feel it, and taste it, that would be kind of cool. So we're going to end this video, and what you're looking at right now, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is my Color Computer 2, hopefully 64K, but the good news is it does turn on and it does appear to work, which is always a concern when you buy something off of eBay. So hopefully there'll be more videos in the future as more acquisitions come in. The next video will probably be when I get the casing and plug in the cartridge and play a game on this sucker. So until then, I will see you all later. Bye bye.